Welcome to Drunken, a Democratic debate number 12. My God, 12 debates. And we've done a recap for every single one. I am joined by some other people who I guess hate themselves as much as I hate myself to sit through this shit show. Let's start with Howie. Welcome.
Yeah, apparently I hate myself too. I'm a political junkie. I guess it sounds like when you're a drug addict, like you do the shit and it makes you feel awful and terrible, but you keep doing it. Same with watching these debates. Not much different.
But you don't get like a high during the debate. So it's like
you get that high when people like retweet you though. You're like, yeah, give me some more in my vein. People
Brian McWilliams in the house.
Yeah, man, I'm here. Even though I did an episode of ELL, but fortunately I was able to record that early. So I was able to watch. And thank God this is only 2 hours of debate. That's really why when I saw it was 2 hours, I was like, okay, I can do that. I'm not doing this 3 hour fucking bullshit. No more of that.
2's much better.
And what did we miss? Did we miss them talking about the climate for another hour on top of everything? No.
And Rico's here.
Well, thanks so much for having me.
Welcome, Rico. We didn't even introduce JB yet, and he was here before Rico. JB, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for acknowledging me first, too. I appreciate that.
You just kind of snuck in there.
Yeah, he sure did.
JB has a different setup in his background.
I know. Is that a window or is that it's a window, right? That's not like a glass fireplace behind you.
It's a window, and you can actually see the Ben Franklin Bridge from it.
I thought that was a window into your science laboratory.
Yeah, I feel like you should have a lab behind him and have like a lab coat at least.
You should get some of those Blick stick-on things and just put some mice and like a giant needle.
Do you have a lab coat?
Yeah,
of course he has a lab coat. He's a scientist. Come on.
I just want to make sure if he said no, I wasn't going to listen to his science advice.
Yeah, I do have a lab coat.
His wife makes him wear it in the bedroom. She's like, no. I don't want you tonight. I want Dr. Science tonight.
Oh, I hope that happens.
Give me all 8 inches of your test tube.
I've rebranded tonight, though. Rebranded tonight as Dr. Junkie in honor of Howie.
Oh, nice. I like it. So that debate, the highlight. What was the best part?
Oh God, the highlight? I don't fucking know, man.
Low light? What was the worst part?
When Amy Klobuchar acknowledged she's boring, or at least that people think she's boring. I think that was my highlight.
Well, everyone thinks I suck, but that's really not true.
Can Joe Biden get through a sentence without like contradicting his own words? Like he's always starting out with a negative and then trying to like reverse the negative. He's like, I'm not an idiot.
What was his one? He's
like how he talks. Like
here's
that.
the story.
Let me tell you. Let's get this straight. Let me get this straight.
Listen, this is the deal.
The thing about Biden is that he sounds more like an old man than anyone else on stage. He just talks like an old man. You would expect an old man to talk, like in everything he says.
So Odie had tweeted out, he's like, so I missed a lot of the debate, but Joe Biden seemed pretty with it and on point tonight. And I'm like, Odie, I guess you missed the point where you said 150 million Americans died from gun violence since 2007.
I did miss that.
And he also coined the term home boning.
It's how we won World War II, by shooting our own people in the back. Oh, wait, that was the Russian.
I had no idea half the population died since 2007.
He also had this brilliant line that made absolutely no sense, talking about North Korea. You don't negotiate with a dictator without any notion that he'll do anything at all. What is that? What does that mean?
By the way, my favorite slip up or awkward moment of the debate was definitely Michael Bloomberg when he was asked some policy other, I think, about black students, and he was like, "Well, when we're talking about black and African American students." It's like, yeah, it took you a while to come up with that one after you thought about the black populace there, Mike. That must not have the highest opinion. That kind of correct.
Didn't he also slip up and say that when he was saying that, like the 40 new Democrats, he's like, I contributed 100 million.
Yes.
I bought and sold those sons of it. Mike Bloomberg did have a funny answer when he asked about his misconception. He's like 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
That was funny. I like that.
What was it? What did he say? I missed it.
It was just a quick line. It was when he was asked, what's the biggest misconception people have about you? He was like, well, that I'm 6 feet tall, because he's like 5'3" if he's an inch.
Why is Tom Steyer in the debate? How did that happen?
Because it's in South Carolina where Tom Steyer spent $200 million in advertising.
Is that a real figure? 200?
No, I'm making that up, but it's quite a bit of money. I mean, he spent a lot of money making sure that he polls, like his polls in I almost said South Africa. His polls in South Carolina, I think he's polling like at 20% or something. Like he's
20? Wow.
I think it's 15. He's in third.
He's
polling at 50% in South Africa, though. But
so oddly enough,
Bloomberg's not doing so well in the black communities in South Africa. They do not support him.
With the Boers knocking it out of the park. Stop it.
How about what about Biden's answer when he was talking about home values? He's like, we got to avoid gentrification. So does that mean people aren't going to be free to move to where they want to move?
Apparently.
And then he's like, when home values on the white side of the neighborhood and then across the street, the black side of the neighborhood, like one street separates black and white neighborhoods. But what is the government going to do about home values? Are they going to make people spend a certain amount of money to buy a house? Like,
I said the same thing to my wife when I heard this. It's like, I love how politicians love to spout and shout about things they couldn't possibly control. Like government can't control that. They just can't, no matter what you do. Like, unless you price fix every home in America, there's literally nothing you can fucking do about that.
Government is gonna buy Zillow and they're gonna manipulate the price data.
Whether or not that's
houses.
a problem is besides the point. You personally cannot do anything about that.
I'm gonna pass a bill to outlaw the sun getting any hotter to fight global warming. Thank you, Tom Steyer. By the way, I couldn't help but notice this just where I would talk about housing, but the one thing I took away from everything they're talking about like how housing, like Black America and housing, and they're listing off all these programs. They're like, okay, well, the government fucks black people like this way and this way and this way. And then they did this and that didn't work. But then we do this and that didn't work. It's like, if you're black, aren't you like, why am I supporting the government? Like everything you've done is to fuck me or hasn't helped me. Why am I putting my faith back in the government?
Hey, they kept mentioning something, and I don't know what it is, and I was too lazy to Google it. What is redlining?
You don't know what redlining is?
No.
So redlining essentially, and I don't know if it's gone on well before the housing collapse, but it got real bad. Well, I guess leading up to the housing.
That's like World War II they were doing it.
I believe it's starting in like the 50s or 40s. It's pretty.
It sounds like the New Deal, man.
So what banks would essentially do is if there's neighborhoods where housing values either go down, in some of these places they're going down, so you don't want to write a loan to a place that the loan's going to lose its value and you're not going to get your money back. So they redlined. They said, we're not going to write loans in this area, in this neighborhood, whatever it is, this street to this street. So what they did, I don't know when they passed the bill, but before they 2008 collapse in 2002 or something, they said no more redlining. You have to go to these communities and loan, and they incentivized the banks to do it.
So you have to guaranteed lose money.
Pretty much, yeah.
Redlining is a little bit more complicated than that.
Yeah, it's not guaranteeing to lose money, but it is. I mean, if we're being honest, it should. If we're talking about just individual businesses, should be able to do business however they want. But there should be somebody to come into that marketplace that'll lend to these people regardless. But it was like the government basically working hand in hand in many cases too, as aid the redlining and subvert it and hide it. So,
well, loans would get written. It's just the terms for the loans might not be, might not be very good.
The
simplest way to put this without turning it into a show unto itself was that in the 40s and 50s, the government itself was basically picking winners and losers and mandating which specific areas and municipalities would or will not receive government funds.
Right.
Like they always do.
And those areas that would not receive government funds were almost exclusively that housed minorities, particularly black people at the time, because they were really the only minority at that point.
Right.
So yeah, that is government basically picking winners and losers with public funds.
And a lot of those areas
redline black communities out of receiving these government funds. And that's why they're complaining about it today.
I think you're confused. Redlining, I'm pretty sure, is the banks. It's not government.
But it's also,
I think it has to do with the Federal Housing Commission. Or
exactly.
or something like that.
Them backing.
I guess it's all intertwined.
Yeah,
All
I
right,
think
enough on this. I know enough.
I
I know enough.
Okay, well, yeah, and then, but also the funny thing is too, though, that a lot of the communities where you have the redlining take place is also where they created, like, the housing specifically for minorities, where they push people into to create the ghettos. So it's all government's fault at the end of the day. So again, if you're black, why would you be like, oh, these people clearly have a solution that'll appeal to me? Let's buck the trend.
Yeah, I guess as we have pretty much confirmed, your redlining is more nuanced, but what they've done is the word redlining, they've made it evil and saying, they've packed all that into one box and saying, well, we're not doing any of that stuff. We're only going to do stuff that makes things better. So they've kind of used it to persuade with. But anyway, we didn't do drinks. What's everyone drinking? Howie, are you drinking anything?
Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA.
Seems so sad about it.
Yeah, no.
He's like, I can't drink a triple bock. It's getting late. I have to go to work. And last time I got sent home for being stinking like a whiskey.
Really?
Still in my
bed. That hasn't happened to me since I was in the Army.
No, I was drinking last night, but I ran when I got home. I ran around the block and I sweated alcohol out. I'm getting to work. Is that the way it went down?
Pretty much.
Brian, let me guess. Glenlivet.
No, I switched it up. I was drinking some wine. My wife watched the whole debate with me tonight, which was shocking. You saw I tweeted some of her very enlightened commentary, considering that she is not a political animal. But I'll tell you the two things she pointed out that got some love is, number one, she is opposed to the government giving out parental leave to everybody, because she aptly recognized, she goes, well, that's not really fair. What if you don't want to have kids? I'm like, exactly. What if you don't want to have fucking...
What's fairness have to do with that?
Force everybody to pay for your goddamn parental leave on top of the schools that you also aren't using. And then the other thing was, God, I can't remember, something else. But anyway.
Being like a game show?
Oh, yeah. And also she observed that the opening was crazy. The two women came up, they're like, they have this like build up like the NFL. They're like, these candidates are going to go at each other. And then the two chicks got on stage. Gayle King, who went from being Oprah's best friend to moderating a debate. Okay. So anyway, but yeah, the chick's like, let's see, because it's all on the line. And then they cut away and it's like the $50.
Who wants to tax a billionaire? And Bloomberg even called them all contestants.
Yeah, who wants to tax a billionaire? It's funny. But anyway, I'm drinking Bullet now and wine earlier. So
Bullet rye or Bullet?
I'm drinking Bullet bourbon, not the rye, and I was drinking wine earlier.
Gotcha. Rico?
I'm drinking some vodka and seltzer water again. It's very, very easy and no carbs.
Yeah, no carbs.
Dude, I'm a fan of the vodka and soda. It's good.
It's good.
White Claws? Malt liquor and seltzer?
Is that what White Claw is? Vodka and
pretty much.
Chemicals in it too.
I had one sip of one and it was
Remember, there ain't no law when you're drinking the claw.
We have like I've had a few different White Claws. The one that's terrible is grapefruit. The one that's pretty damn good is raspberry. I haven't had lime yet, but it's like it doesn't have a lot of aftertaste. Like most of them have like that
lime and
aftertaste.
Lemon and lime are the best. Probably mixing them together, which I haven't done, is probably even better. But
you know what?
It's like a Sprite.
You add a slash of Mad Dog into that, you got yourself a party.
There you go. JB?
I am drinking Victory, whatever this is. Cloudwalker. It's hazy IPA.
He's about as enthusiastic as Howie.
Well, I like it, but
I'm so angry about this.
See, I really like the Dogfish Head 60 IPA. I'm just sad that I don't have more of them.
Well, that sounds like a you problem. Do you have
I do like my drink.
How quick can you get to the store and back?
Yeah, I got work in the morning.
How quick can you walk upstairs and get some hard liquor and come back?
Well, he will fall back down the steps.
The wheels are turning in his head. I can see that going.
The liquor doesn't last long in this house. It's all the bottles are empty.
I am drinking Sweetwater 420, and this is the first Tuesday night I've drank on in this entire calendar year. So,
is that just a coincidence, or were you gunning for that?
No, I typically don't drink during the week anymore, but special occasions like this.
That's a lie. Odie told us, Rico, if you'll recall, Odie stated to Rico and I that he was not drinking Monday through Thursday or Monday through Wednesday. So that's 3 days.
No. I don't drink Sunday night. Monday night,
Sunday
Tuesday,
night.
Sunday during the day. I mean, who's going to drink Sunday at all? I don't drink Sunday at all.
You can have a Bloody Mary breakfast.
Wednesday.
Yeah, sometimes I go watch games, NFL, Premier League, have a couple of drinks.
Yeah. Sunday's a great day. Sunday actually might be my favorite day.
I hate that. I like drinking on Saturdays the best.
I'm thinking about taking.
Friday's the best.
Thinking about
taking hungover all Saturday, and then you have an entire another day to recover after that. It's fantastic.
I'm thinking about taking Len off. The only thing making me second guess it is that St. Patrick's Day is in the middle of it. So obviously that can't.
Oh, well, that's
right?
Don't you get a dispensation for that?
Oh, actually, you know what? The Bishop in Scranton usually does do that. And I'll just pretend like I'm in Scranton because I'm from Scranton. So it's good enough. All right.
Today is Fat.
Today's
Fat Tuesday also. Anyone have any king cake today?
Nope.
What is that?
You guys don't know what king cake is?
Is that the one you cut up and it's got like plastic pieces of shit in it that you chew on?
It's got a plastic baby inside, but it's
it does have a plastic piece of shit in it.
Is this like a French piñata or something?
I don't know what the origin story is of it, but
just a prostitute that craps out some treasure. I don't know what that is.
I work with a lot of people from the South, and I guess it's big down in New Orleans and all that stuff. But
yeah.
King cake. It's good.
Don't leave me hanging. What are you doing?
There's a bunch of ways you can do it. It's basically a pastry with some like they do 3 different colors of icing. I think each color stands for like justice, faith, and something else. I forget, but anyway,
there's a baby in it.
There's a baby in it.
Jesus.
Oh.
Isn't it supposed to be Jesus?
I didn't even. Maybe probably that'd make more sense.
He's the king, right? What are we celebrating here?
That's true.
No king but Christ.
So what happens? Do you want to get the baby, or is that like you don't want to eat the baby because you choke to death, and that means God hates you and you're supposed to die?
If you're doing it along the rules of the baby, why they start putting it in? If you get the baby, you're supposed to bring the cake the next year, but nobody ever follows that.
Yeah, who's going to remember that?
What if you actually cut the baby in half like King Midas? What happens then?
You bring two the next year.
King, what was the guy that cut the baby in half?
Solomon?
King Solomon. King Solomon.
He didn't cut the baby in half.
No, but he
just threatened
them to cut the baby in half.
Smart dude.
Look, all I know is I was sad we didn't have more abortion talk.
Was there any abortion talk?
No,
there wasn't.
A little bit. They
who was talking abortion?
Somebody brought up how Bloomberg
Elizabeth Warren brought up the Bloomberg
donated to like get some dude elected who's for not killing babies.
Oh, I thought you were going to say when he was like yelling at somebody that worked for him, and one of the most hilarious.
Warren brought that up. Was great.
I mean, it's awful, but it's also kind of funny, you know. But whether side of your article, it's kind of funny. Somebody yelling at somebody that works for them to kill the baby. It's absurd. It's pretty entertaining when you're not rooting for that candidate.
So to me, this was the biggest thing in the debate. What I was going into the debate looking for was Elizabeth Warren going to go after Bloomberg, or was she going to go after Bernie? Because that tells me if she goes after Bernie, she's trying to be president. If she goes after Bloomberg, she's trying to be Bernie's VP. And that's what I gathered from what I saw tonight. The whole time she was after Bloomberg and again.
A lot of them were.
She might have said one thing about Bernie not being able to pay for everything, but she hardly ever criticized him at all. She did kind of criticize him at the very beginning. By saying something like, well, you know, Bernie and I basically agree on everything, except for the fact that I'm just a little bit better than Bernie. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was the one time. The whole rest of the debate, not a negative word, all against Bloomberg. And that's what I wanted to find out. How much can she
say against Bernie when they're basically have very similar platforms and like ideologies. So
Bernie, I'm you, but less likable, and my plans are more crazy.
She's not as much like Bloomberg as she led people to believe the first half of this election. She tried to go like pretend to be very, very far left, and now she's trying to swing it back to the center. Like she was a Republican for most of her life. Like she's
Elizabeth Warren. Warren?
Yeah.
She was. That's true.
Yeah, she's
a Massachusetts Republican.
She's not a Bernie Sanders though. She was trying to get those liberal votes though at the beginning. She's
what way was she a Republican other than maybe filing and having an R next to her name. Well, what does she believe that's in any way?
She was definitely not
theoretically
ever a Republican
politician.
politician.
No, but she was registered Republican for
until she was like in her 40s
time.
or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
She wasn't campaigning or running, but she was.
and
registered.
then she started to figure out she had a plan for every possible scenario in life. She has a plan.
You're not going to let me teach at Harvard? I have a plan for that. My mom had told me just lie and say I'm Native American.
When you do her impression, it has to be more whiny.
Dude, right
I don't know. If I do it more like that, I just sound like Joe Biden on his deathbed.
right before she brought up the Bloomberg telling his pregnant staffer to kill it comment, she was going on about that lie again about how she was fired for being pregnant.
Oh, yeah.
I thought for sure someone's got to call her on this. But then when she went in on the Bloomberg kill it thing, that kind of like stole any kind of thunder.
Howie, nobody can challenge quote unquote her truth on that topic, even though it is total bullshit.
God, it was. And again on her with the goddamn selfies again. She brought it up. She's like, I've been in a lot of selfie lines where it's like, Jesus Christ, can we stop with the selfies?
So if Bernie does get this nomination, speaking of Elizabeth Warren angling for VP, other than Elizabeth Warren and maybe Tulsi, who else could be his VP? Like
that horrible woman
Stacey
Abrams. Yeah, she's definitely campaigning hard.
Is she
Kamala
like
Harris?
Is she like very? They have to be like but like that part, like the establishment part of the Democratic Party hates Bernie.
Yeah. Stacey Abrams is deep.
Well, maybe it's an olive branch.
She's deep state. He will not go with her. But here's the thing. I know as of today for a fact that Bernie will not be their candidate. Do you know how I know that? Because today Hillary Clinton said she would support whoever the nominee is, even if it's Bernie Sanders. She would not say that unless she knew for a fact that Bernie Sanders would not be the candidate. Only way she would say
news:
that.
Bernie Sanders just died.
Theory.
He just died.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like, do we have an official date of death for Bernie Sanders?
By the way, was it?
Don't get on a plane, Bernie.
So was it subtle that Hillary Clinton had a big long ad for that documentary in the middle of it?
Right.
It's like a 60-second ad too. I was like, coincidence or
right before debate started too. It was on. She thinks she's got this thing. But here's the thing: Hillary Clinton's been wrong before. She thought she had it last time.
She's been wrong every single time and every single decision.
So
marrying Bill Clinton, whoops. Going into Libya, whoops. Going into Syria, whoops. Running for president, whoops. Having Chelsea Clinton, whoops.
The only way that Bernie Sanders is the nominee is if he does well enough to win on the first round at the convention. That it'll be like the Trump situation where, like, if you're close, they can cheat you, but if it's so far overwhelming, there's nothing they can do.
Is this Super Tuesday coming up next week?
Yeah, I think so. That's what I vote.
Wait,
South Carolina's during the weekend, right? And then Super Tuesday's next Tuesday.
I feel like, I don't know. South Carolina, I think, is on like the 3rd or something. I don't know.
They're not
California.
I thought it was 2 Tuesdays.
California is now part of Super Tuesday.
Look it up. I know Virginia.
Yeah, no, it's on like May. Oh yeah, it is next week, May 3rd.
Is Bernie gonna win California?
Yeah, I think it.
Are you going to vote for Tulsi, Brian?
I'm a registered libertarian, so
I'm going to an open primary.
I don't think so in California. I don't think it is.
I currently actually have a vote by mail application that I applied for online, and they mailed it to me. And all I have to fill out is like my driver's license. But I have to put a stamp on the envelope, and that's too
much effort.
I'm like, I don't know.
Yep.
47 cents to vote for this.
Plus, that's USPS. There's only a 50% chance it gets there.
So February 29th is South Carolina. That's soon. And then
that's Saturday. And then Super Tuesday's next Tuesday.
That's when I vote.
Oh shit! It's that quick. Wow.
Yeah. I guess it is next Tuesday.
So we're gonna know like really who's gonna win next Tuesday, probably.
If all those states go for Bernie, then it's pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean,
let's
if he
talk
gets
more about the actual debate, shouldn't we?
I guess so.
Because I was going to say, until this debate, I saw nothing of value in Klobuchar until this debate, and actually, she had a couple of good things this debate. I thought. I don't know if you guys saw that too, but she actually had some good things to say about non-interventionalism with the military. I thought her answer on Idlib in Syria was great, where she was like, look, or was that Elizabeth Warren?
That was Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, I'm confused with Elizabeth Warren.
She was, and she prefaced
and then she turned on Trump. But no, Klobuchar had some pretty intelligent things on a couple, like 2 topics where I was like, okay, I guess I see why she's polling okay in some regards.
I don't. I don't care if she did. She's so horrible. She's so
not
awkward.
for a libertarian. I just mean
wait, how is anyone
Democratic field?
How do you deem one horrible and one not horrible?
They're all horrible.
I just don't. I don't
Well,
understand. I guess my thing with Amy Klobuchar is there's been prominent people that I follow on Twitter who have been pushing for Biden or Steyer to drop out so Klobuchar can swoop in and rise to the top and challenge Bernie and get the nomination. Like, what are you talking about? There's no way this woman is going to win the nomination.
Well,
unless a lot of Republicans vote for her. Oh, the never Trumpies.
Yeah, maybe the never Trumpies coming on over.
She's the first person I heard.
She seems like a never Trump kind of chick.
Are you going to say Cuba, JB?
No, criminal justice reform. That's something that I think is only come up today in the 12 debates.
Since what's his face? I'm from Newark. Cory Booker. Since Cory Booker dropped out and stopped talking about his neighborhood, he talked about it a lot.
When she was a prosecutor, though, she screwed a lot of people.
I'm sure she did, but she did talk about justice reform. But also, she talked about opening up Cuba, which I liked. But then she was ideologically inconsistent because she didn't talk about opening up trade with fucking North Korea to let those people get free by capitalism. So.
Oh, hey, for anyone who watched the debate, I did a little fact check. Barack Obama did, in fact, praise the Castro's literacy and healthcare stuff. Just like
Biden's response to that was nonsensical. He's like, Obama never praised them. He did say that they got out of poverty, and that was good. I'm like,
yeah, Biden's the worst.
Isn't that just talking?
I mean,
accentuating some kind of
he's a dictator. But you don't support that. But yeah, they did some good things too.
Joe Biden is way worse than Amy Klobuchar. At least Amy Klobuchar can be coherent and has lucid thoughts and can form, sentences that make sense to me.
Did you guys?
She's got a lot going for her in that respect.
Hey, JB, let me tell you, I'm going to shoot you straight there. I'm going to shoot you straight.
Who the fuck listened to Biden talk a year ago and thought, yeah, this guy's going to really wow people and run away with the nomination? He cannot say a coherent sentence.
The Child Sniffers. He ran all of his speeches by the Child Sniffers Club of America and rave reviews, 5 stars across the board.
Did you hear what he said yesterday?
I like your beard, JB.
What's that?
What did he say yesterday?
Yesterday, he's like, I'm Joe Biden. I'm running for United States Senate. If you like what you see, I hope you can support me. And if you don't like it, well, I guess you can vote for the other Biden.
What the
yes.
You can see me in the new musical.
Yes,
Biden,
yesterday. He's running for United States Senate. And if you don't like it, vote for the other Biden.
It's to the point. One of the first debates, Julian Castro really attacked him for being old and senile. And I was like, well, that's not going to help him. And it didn't. He's out of the race. But it's getting to the point that it's getting sad.
It's elder abuse.
Let him talk more. Just nobody needs to attack Joe Biden. Just let him talk. He does it himself. He's self-sabotaging.
They're really not letting him talk, though. They're kind of it's okay, Joe. It's okay.
Dude, he doesn't know. He doesn't let himself talk.
He stopped himself.
How many times today did he stop himself? And he's like, why am I stopping?
All the debates. He's a real stickler for the rules.
No, I think he's so senile. He's used to rambling on and people stopping him. So when he gets this, he's like, and then I was in there, Barack Obama, and I wore an onion on my belt, as was the style of the time. Why is nobody stopping me?
Normally, Barack tells me to shut up by now.
Yeah. Barack
so many times he just stopped talking in the middle of some incoherent point and is like, oh, I stopped talking.
It was so awkward. Yeah, every time he stopped was so. I swear to God, one time he literally said, "Why did I stop talking?"
He did.
And he was like, "Oh, that's my Catholic schoolboy."
So one thing I learned while he was talking, aside from Bloomberg, he's probably the worst on guns on the stage.
Yeah, he's awful. He's touting how much he hates.
He's terrible. Yeah.
And Pete Buttigieg is pretty bad too.
Buttigieg is awful.
I get the feeling that Sanders or Klobuchar would be the most decent on guns around that stage. Every time they attack Bernie for being
I think Bernie has to be the worst on guns.
Even when they brought up, he's like, let me tell you, I'm for like a waiting period and background checks, but he didn't say I'm against assault weapons. He didn't say I'm for a magazine ban.
In the hypothetical world where he's elected and his policies get implemented, they have to be 100% strict on guns because he's going to have to forcibly confiscate everyone's wealth.
He's not going to be doing hardly shit. He'd be like raising the minimum wage, whatever. Nobody's kind of.
I don't know. I don't put anything past.
I hope Bernie Sanders,
the population of America.
We all know he's got no backbone.
If Bernie Sanders gets elected, here's all he's going to do. He's going to get a swimming pool like Scrooge McDuck filled with locks, and he's just going to swim around in it. That's going to be it.
Yeah. And
you know what locks are?
So Bloomberg,
Scottish Lake.
Yes, no, I'm talking about literal locks, like smoked salmon, and he's going to swim around in it like Scrooge McDuck in Money, but just throwing bagels and locks in the air.
Are you saying that because Jews eat locks?
Yes, I am. And Bernie Sanders is a proud Jew but the one thing Bernie Sanders is actually pretty good on.
He is decent on Israel.
Palestine.
Yeah.
Good on him for standing up for Palestine. And by the way, I did was it Klobuchar or I was Warren again? I hate that I'm advocating for Warren. Not advocating, but defending her. But she did. I liked her saying, like, look, it's not up to us to decide what the fucking capital, of whatever is. And that's true.
I was amazed that she said that.
The moderators didn't like it. They're like, will you move it or not? Will you move it or not?
Common sense. It's like,
hold on. Yeah.
Like, who gets to
Warren
decide
has
what
a plan for the
capital? Like, what are you talking
hold on,
about?
go on, Jimmy. Yeah.
I was surprised she said that.
I wonder if she's got what if she has a plan for me? I need a plan.
Warren has a plan for every country's capital.
Howie, Manu Bar, or whatever your chick's name is, has a plan for you, buddy.
Manorama.
Manorama, Howie's spiritual guide. Have you checked her client list? How do you know she's not also consulting with Elizabeth Warren on a plan for you and she's manipulating your mind?
She's in India right now.
You need to drop Manorama.
Manorama's in India. Did she go to Trump's?
Oh my gosh,
rally.
She's a Trumper. She went there to support him, didn't she?
You need to drop Manorama for Marianne.
I'm sorry
you got to go with Marianne.
I'm sorry to say, in 2016, she was a Hillary person.
Is that your guru? Is that who we're talking
to me,
about?
it's like the Pope. It's like, stay out of the political stuff. You don't get it. You're good with the spiritual stuff. Just stay out of politics.
Well, by the way, how many fucking stories I saw it? Where I got it was like the top story on CNN was Trump's issue with or something about Trump and broccoli and samosas. Did you guys see that story?
Did not see that.
Missed that one.
Yeah. Well, for good reason.
You're not giving us a lot to work with. Something about broccoli and samosas.
I saw the headline. It was like Trump's problem with samosas and broccoli in India. And I was like, good job, CNN. And I clicked. That was it.
He didn't want to eat Indian food.
He didn't like broccoli. I don't fucking know, man. They had a whole story.
I did see something about they had some like famous chef there, but him and Melania didn't eat any of the food that the chef made. And everybody,
I don't know. They make it into like a crisis. Like Trump's going to starve in India because he can't have a cheeseburger and that's all he eats. I read a story that was literally like by Politico stating that literally, what's he going to do without a cheeseburger because all he eats is cheeseburgers and he's in India where you can't have cows.
So here's
dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I'm sure they've got like shawarma or some shit made from lamb,
Yeah, lamb's delicious.
Here's the thing.
The Impossible Burger.
They're bringing up all the stuff. They're bringing up all this stuff that nobody cares about. One of the articles that they had was he mispronounced all these Indian words, like if Brian was like trying to say them.
How dare you, sir? I practice yoga and I'm very good.
How dare you?
And I'm sure everybody knows the issues that they're having with the Hindus and the Muslims in India right now. And this one Indian dude I saw commented on this tweet where they're saying like how he mispronounced everything. He's like,
I have some chicken tickle your mama.
So this Indian guy says, yeah, but he said one thing right, Islamic terrorism, and that's the only thing that matters.
Dang.
Yeah, there's that the citizenship over there. They're like banning Muslims for being citizens or something.
I saw something in the news about that. It hasn't been good. Odie, if you don't know, that's the reason why India and Pakistan are two different countries right now. They used to be one. They had a war, and all the Muslims went to one side, and when the Hindus went on the other side, and they've basically been fighting ever since.
It really hit
Not
home when I
all.
saw that.
Well,
Doctor
not all,
Who
of course,
episode
but
about
majority. They became majority countries because of that.
You know what really helped the not fighting? The nuclear weapons really helped them calm things down.
that.
Do they each have
Actually,
nukes or just
that's
no,
they
both
both
of
have
them.
nukes.
Actually,
They
that's
both
the most dangerous. Like, if a nuclear war is going to happen, it's going to be there. And the
It's not gonna
problem
happen.
is one of them's got tactical nukes, the other has strategic nukes. So if the one with the tactical, I can't remember which is which. The one with the
Yeah, I don't know what the
tactical,
difference is. They both sound. That's,
Well,
like the
so
same thing.
so
They
tactical
both
nukes.
have nuke in there.
That's
Tactical,
if you believe in nuclear
tactical
technology,
nukes
nuclear
are like
bombs.
they're like small. You can do like a little bit of damage in a contained area. The other side only has like city killers. But if they get hit with tactical nukes, they're like, well, we're not going to not use our city killers, and they're
Yeah, true.
it's just going to be.
What would you
horrible.
attack with a non-city killer? Like a bunker in a mountain or something?
What
Like, what
we?
would you need
oh
a
yeah,
nuke for?
like for America, we'd probably use them on underground facilities. Or
Yeah.
Or deflecting a comet that was going to hit a city.
Well, they
no, that's
both
not
had
that's
nukes.
not how you want to deal with comments. No.
Just want to
They both
blast
had
all
nukes
that
for over
nuclear
20
stuff
years.
into the air and the atmosphere. That's how you do it, right?
You want to deflect the trajectory so it misses. If you just blow it up, then just have a bunch of things that are going to hit us. And
You know what? I'm not worried about it. Superman will take care of that.
Howie,
Let's
have
get
you
back to the debate.
applied to be in the Space Force yet?
no, but I feel like I've got an itch for it though, man.
You should, Howie, you
Not
should
gonna lie.
angle to get a job in Martian intelligence, and you can just sit around doing fucking nothing all day long and be like, nothing yet on the Martian, cunt guys.
I can't wait till we do like a presidential debate recap in 40 years when Howie's on a space station.
I can't wait till Howie goes mad from alcohol
Mars.
withdrawal and murders everybody on said space station.
Yeah, I don't.
Alcohol and space dementia in one.
If I even survive the coronavirus pandemic, because I mean, like today I was germ conscious today, so I walk in, I'm like, okay, I'm at work, got a badge in, and then type in my pin on this turnstile that everybody has touched. Now let me get in the elevator, touch these buttons that everybody's touched. Oh, it's
Yeah, never touch the buttons in the
time
elevator.
for lunch. Let me grab this
Those
plastic
and
fork
those.
out of the basket that everybody
always-
stuck their hands in.
I always kick the buttons in the elevator. Just
All these people, they have kids.
You know, it's the grossest thing I've ever touched in my life. And I know
Human
no
shit.
sex jokes here. No, worse. I went to the Natural History Museum here in Los Angeles, and there was this one thing, and I had a few drinks. You know, the wife and I didn't have the kid at this time. We were having fun. So I go to the
years
Natural
ago,
History
before
Museum.
Brian had a kid.
Yeah, 6 months ago. No, but a year ago. We're going there, we're walking through, and there's this, it's like touch a dinosaur bone. And I was like, oh, I would like to do that. So I put my hand in the spot where you can touch it. And what I ended up touching was about 4 million children's spit and shit and candy corn coated fingers that had been in there before me. And I wanted to throw up because you will never know a horror like that horror.
It probably wasn't even a real
Sounds-
dinosaur bone.
Sounds disgusting.
It probably wasn't.
They don't just keep that shit out, you know.
But you know what? The tar pit surrounding the dinosaur bone was real. But I just killed the show. Well,
So-
it's been good
kind
being
of.
here. I'm Brian Williams. You can hear me on Wednesdays on Electric Liberty Land. See you later.
So you couldn't even see what you were touching, and you stuck your
No.
arm
I
into a
didn't think
into
about
a
it.
dinosaur bone glory hole.
It was just a finger. It was just a finger, and it was just a finger. And who of us has not stuck one finger in places that are moist and dark and dirty that they didn't know what they're getting into? You know, you all have. I know because we went to college together. So shut the fuck up.
Now
Dinosaur
you
glory
killed the
hole.
show.
Moving on. Moving on.
So, how do you guys think Bloomberg did tonight? I think he had two good lines last debate, but for the most part, it was horrible. Horrible. It was like he spent $300 million to get shit on. Did he redeem himself tonight or not?
He's just not relatable at all. He just seems, I don't know. He doesn't really have Trump didn't have a command of the issues when he was running, but Trump was, tearing into the other candidates on the stage, knocking them down a peg, having one-liners that were funny, making weird faces.
That's what Bloomberg should have been.
Bloomberg's just kind of I don't know. He's not awkward. He's just, you can tell he's out of his element.
He's just there. That's what
yeah.
you're looking for, Odie. He's just there.
Yeah. How about this pitch? Bloomberg should go on stage. He's tiny. He's super rich. He should just go on stage in a leprechaun outfit and be like, if I'm president, if you can catch me, I'll give you gold. Tell me he wouldn't get elected. Anywhere you see Mike Bloomberg, you tackle him, you get his pot of gold, and his security team always has one.
It would be more successful with his current marketing, I think.
That's what I'm saying. But no, I think Tony's point. He should have gone out. He should be a dick, a New York aggressive dick that's funny and just like, I don't fucking care, and be like, if anyone's going to beat Trump, it's me.
Oh, so he should just be Trump?
Yeah, beat Trump for the Democrats. Beat Trump for the Democrats.
Didn't Bill de Blasio try that, and he made one debate, and then he was gone?
No, Bill de Blasio had so many fucking awards.
Did he run?
A massive failure as a New York fucking...
Yeah.
No, he's the worst candidate. He has a track record of being an authoritarian piece of shit in New York.
So does Bloomberg.
Well, true, but Bloomberg's a billionaire.
And Giuliani, too.
I
thought I was watching Giuliani tonight when he was invoking 9/11.
Yeah, right. I was like, what did you do, Bloomberg?
What was the last New York City mayor that wasn't a huge fucking status asshole? Probably can't even.
Probably
Fiorello LaGuardia? I don't know.
Hey, maybe.
I don't think you get an airport named after you if you're not a state.
Yeah, exactly.
So
he allocated the money to build it, and then he's named it after himself.
Speaking of 9/11 is kind of tied in. More people have died of coronavirus than died in 9/11. And Mayor Bloomberg was the first one to bring the coronavirus up.
All right, thank you, QAnon.
Well, I think so.
Great point, Howie.
I think we're talking about
the
this.
Fucking Joe Biden of this conversation.
More people have died from the flu this month than 9/11.
Maybe.
Probably.
How do you know they didn't die of coronavirus? Because they're not testing in anywhere in America except for 3 states.
Because if it's indistinguishable from the flu, then we really don't have anything to worry about.
The
Howie.
FDA has FDA has made it so
it's like it's the flu, but less lethal.
The FDA has made it.
Renamed the flu. Everybody, watch the fuck out.
Dude, we're like, all these high numbers of flu deaths this year. It's like, oh yeah, did you test them after they died? Are you sure it was the flu?
I don't think it's any higher than normal, is it?
The flu deaths? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll get into that on Thursday.
I
have you get into that conspiracy corner when you record it for our Pride, which you can join at patreon.com/Lions of Liberty if you want to hear the coronavirus conspiracy corner special that is being recorded tomorrow, correct?
It's Thursday.
Thursday.
When they were talking about it, somebody started coughing. I was like, who's got it?
Going to be recorded.
I feel like I'm a special bonus member of the, like extra level of the Pride because I'm like, I feel like having the early recap of the Democratic debate. So I will just jump on the show.
There you go.
One thing that I have never heard in a debate before was the sheer hatred for the filibuster.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Has that ever been brought up on a debate before? Which I thought was really ironic for a Democratic debate because to me, the purpose of the filibuster is to protect the minority from the tyranny of the majority. And Democrats are all about identity politics, protecting whatever minority it is, you know, right? Like if you're LGBTQ and you go to hairdresser school and you want to use a special bathroom, you have that right. So we are protecting the rights of the minority, but we hate the filibuster.
Right.
So, dude, the best.
Well, it was really weird.
I think it has. You pretty much said exactly why it came up this debate and never has. It's because of Strom Thurmond. He's from South Carolina, and he had the longest filibuster ever to oppose civil rights acts passing through Senate. So that's why it came up. It's exactly about that. You pretty much answered your own question while you were talking.
No, but
then the Democrats supporting it is the craziest thing ever, though, because it flipped on its head. Anybody that's in power, like you should not get rid of any measure that checks power.
Yeah, but the reason they're
thinking too reasonably.
Yeah, the reason they're against
it. South Carolina Democrats, so filibuster bad.
Hold on, let me get.
Let's just,
hold on.
Let's just
The
think
best-
monosyllabically. Here,
I can
right?
think with you.
All,
Look, I can
filibusters are racist. That's like anybody who's in favor of states' rights is a
Because of Trump
racist.
Thurmond.
It's easy.
Listen, guys, the best troll move ever would be for Mitch McConnell, like tomorrow, to be like, you know what? I was really moved by the Democratic debates last night. No more filibuster. It's done.
Just like with the fucking new Green Deal.
Man,
vote.
he's a fight, Tom. Maybe we could talk to him and
Oh God,
Who is?
this
Get
going.
him on.
Mitch
I guess
McConnell?
You're
Yeah.
fucking kidding. Are you serious?
Yeah,
You didn't
yeah,
know
he's-
that?
Yourself?
yeah. He's a
Howie's brought it up 100 times.
fight side.
Maybe
But-
I've always blocked it out.
Howie did the handshake with him.
Dude, come on, cocaine Mitch.
You did a handshake with him?
No, I didn't.
If only we had the Mitch McConnell hookup when we were in college.
Cocaine bitch.
Damn it.
Dude, it's so
Things would've
funny.
been a lot
If he
easier.
does that, I will be so happy.
Cocaine submarine.
But you know what? The actual filibuster, I like the filibuster where you have to talk and do those like marathon things. I don't like this procedural one where you're like, oh, we have enough votes for a filibuster, and so don't bring this
No,
thing.
you should have to be up there reading the
Yeah,
phone
work
book.
for it. You could switch people out and
think
whatnot,
I
but I
think
want
each
somebody
side-
talking the whole time. Show you care. So if you really believe in something, be up there talking.
Each side should have to do a filibuster once a term, every 2 years. One
Would
filibuster.
it be like Thon? They raise money for cancer.
Yeah, there you go. Why not?
I like it.
They cause cancer when they do it, Howie.
See, we should be in Congress.
But I mean, if Democrats were in the minority in the House or whatever, and they didn't like something the Republicans were passing or trying to pass, wouldn't they want the filibuster?
Well,
It's
exactly, Rico. It's
fucking
any,
crazy.
any measure, and I tweeted this out, and I think Howie retweeted it. But it was like any measure that lowers the bar for what it takes to change something or oppose something is simply enabling tyranny. Anything that enables a straight majority vote is enabling tyranny. It's fucking idiotic, and these morons harp on like getting rid of the electoral college and be like straight majority vote. Well, okay, well if that was the case, well tomorrow I straight majority vote. We'll elect the white candidate. We'll jail all the minorities. Hi-ya! It's fucking anything that lowers the bar in that way and makes it a straight majority vote is fucking stupid. And it exists for a reason with checks and balances. And these assholes they lose that in this political game, which is why the two-party system is so fucking retarded.
The Democrats are doing that here in Virginia now. They just passed laws to make it so that the one person gets all the delegates if they win the popular vote in Virginia instead of the way it's always been done.
There was a Green Party representative who came to our local county libertarian meeting last time, and
so we threw beet juice on her, kicked her in the ass, got her to fuck off.
It was a guy, and the reason he came is they're running a candidate, and he reached out to us and said, "We're running this candidate. We're looking for you to look at his platform, see if there's anything you can support." And so he's laying out like the different things, and really he put research into it ahead of time, and he's like calling out different areas where he thought we'd agree. It didn't start out very good, where he completely started trashing nuclear power at the very beginning, but I bit my lip, and then he went into and really aligning on different things like property rights and stuff like that, which was good. But then he goes into the Electoral College, thinking that would all be on board with it, getting rid of the Electoral College. And this guy's like a school teacher. I think he's a civics teacher, actually. He's like, do you know how hard it is to explain to kids today that the candidate for president who got the most votes isn't the president? I'm like, it's not very fucking hard, man. It's been around for forever, for the entire history of this
I feel like
country.
I could do it, and I'm not a teacher.
Somehow it got explained to
You
us.
should have asked him if he had tenure. And he'd be like, oh,
Probably.
Of course.
But I looked him right in the face. And I'm like, so basically, you want to hand the entire country to California? He's like,
yeah,
it's like he never considered that before.
Our own senators,
California and New York.
Like the founding fathers didn't even want us picking our own senators.
Yeah, no,
I don't want it either.
The president.
Dude, I don't want that either. That was the worst change we've done.
What was that?
That's how little faith they had in the general populace for electing public officials.
Yeah, what was that? We
Dude, not to be crude.
What amendment was it? There was some. Oh God, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Not to be crude, but I mean, democracy is terrible. It's the same as like gang rape. Oh well, the majority decided.
Wow.
By the way, it's the worst.
There's a new T-shirt for the Lions.
It's actually
Zero
difference.
Crude, but I can't find the holes in it.
Guys, you know what the worst part about
They found
gang
him.
rape is?
Oh God, I really lined that up, didn't I?
Next rape joke on Lions of
You
Liberty.
can send all your hate mail
It's
to
not a
Howie
joke.
Snowden at Lions of Liberty.
Serious.
You can also send your 121 rape haikus to Howie.
Pure democracy is as bad as gang rape. Christ.
Well, I mean, maybe it's a bit hyperbolic, but I know.
Is it though?
A bit.
I don't know.
That hyperbolic.
I would rather vote than be gang
I'll
raped.
tell you what.
That's I'm thinking too.
That's the type of stuff, not exactly that, but close to that. The libertarian candidate for president is going to have to say in order to get attention. Because
Hornberger's too nice a guy. He won't say it.
Can you, the next libertarian candidate you interview, can you ask that question?
Dude, is it too
Gang rape?
Is it too late for me to throw my hat in the ring like at the convention?
Next, Howie Snowden on his PowerPoint presentation why gang rape is not as bad as mine.
Howie Snowden literally goes on stage.
No, it's
like,
no,
watch this. Narrate, watch this. Watch what
same.
happens here. This is democracy. And then he proceeds to be gang raped on stage.
I mean,
he's like, now it looks like I know it looks like I'm enjoying this, but I'm not.
the two wolves and the sheep voting just
Oh yeah.
the two wolves and the sheep voting just doesn't
Put
hit it home.
Put three in it. Put three in it. Put three in it. Okay, that's the worst thing that can happen here.
we've lost it.
Okay. Anyway.
I don't know where to go from there.
All right. So
I don't know if we're going to have a show after this airs, but
This is not
It was a good run.
public.
yeah.
I
Where
bet you
do
the
you go?
citizens of Iraq would have preferred George W. Bush being a gang rapist than a president.
That would just make him Saddam, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's get back on
All
target.
right. We got off track there. I don't know how that happened.
All right.
I don't know how we got off track when I brought up gang rape and democracy.
Well, let me say
It's
this.
weird.
I'll give you guys two thoughts to run off of because I have to fill my glass. Tom Steyer campaigned hard to get back in this debate. I had almost no time to talk, which is probably for the best. And can you guys believe that more people were not attacking? I thought not Biden.
Sanders.
What the fuck? These assholes are wasting their time attacking Bloomberg for the same shit they already attacked him on last debate.
Yeah.
Go after Sanders. You are these people idiots?
I think
they did.
I think they might be playing a different game.
No.
They did attack him on him having no idea. I mean, it wasn't like harsh, but basically it was very apparent to anyone watching that Bernie has no idea how much anything costs.
Oh, obviously, but still,
And-
they could attack him on so much more, man. On his, they finally got into support of dictators. And that was late in the game, and Buttigieg fucking served him hard on that.
Did you ever consider,
If you will, with facts on
did you ever consider that maybe the DNC wants Trump to be president again?
No, that's just a bridge too far.
Okay.
Well,
You have
I
to
don't.
think-
I honestly, I mean,
Because that's what they're going to get.
you don't think there's people in the DNC who've realized there's no chance they can win?
That's besides the point. That doesn't mean they
Chris
want Trump
Matthews
to
was
win.
telling people to vote for Trump instead of Sanders.
Really?
I would not rule out
The
Sanders.
day after he had to come out and do like an apology thing. He also likened Bernie winning Nevada to the Nazis taking France.
I did hear that.
Who said
Which
this?
ridiculous.
Chris Matthews with
for
the
fuck's sake,
senior
this guy.
MSNBC people.
People do not think Bernie has any chance of winning the Democrat or the actual presidential election. I think they're wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same thing they
I
said
think
about
it's
Trump.
unlikely.
When will we fucking learn?
Yeah,
You know, like,
exactly.
isn't that exactly
And,
what they said about Trump?
And if the economy goes down at all, what's Trump going to run on?
Oh, now he's going to blame it on coronavirus.
Oh, well, they'll blame Trump for not having a better response, not being more proactive, whatever the fuck he's supposed to do.
And he also laid the groundwork for blaming it on the Fed too. And the Fed should have done more when coronavirus hit. That's what he'll say.
Who, Trump?
Yeah, that's what he'll say.
Trump will say that, but Trump is the Fed. As far as the
Oh yeah,
incumbent
I
comes
know.
in-
I'm not saying the truth.
Yeah,
I'm saying what's going to be
As far as being
said.
the incumbent, if coronavirus does get bad during this election cycle, he's not gonna be able to spin that.
That's
Well,
what they.
here's the thing. Hey, let me tell you. Let me tell you straight here. Here's what's going to happen. See, it's my Joe Biden. It works.
It does.
So what's going to happen is coronavirus, like 5 people are going to die, and they're going to say it's awful and terrible, and 10,000 people got sick, and no matter what happens, they're going to blame Trump. It doesn't matter if it's 5 people or 1,000 people.
No, I know
65 million.
But if people are actually like losing their jobs because the whole global supply chain has gone to shit, the U.S. can't get their product or materials needed to do whatever, and all these companies are laying off workers. If shit goes like that, and then the stock market goes down, and this is all happening right around election time, which I will talk more about in 2 days. I have a deep theory on this.
Ooh, teaser, high level teaser.
Sanders could certainly win.
Yeah, I could see it.
Well, just as an aside, maybe people who think about macroeconomics more than I do. Is it possible for China to like really get fucked with this and it not like really hurt us because of how our economies are entwined?
No,
is that possible?
The whole world.
No, so I'm right. That's not
possible.
Like if China goes down, we're fucked.
Yeah.
It might be a good learning lesson though to not have all like your whole supply chain coming from one single place.
I'm just making sure. I had that feeling, but I wasn't certain if that was the case.
No, it is. And here's the thing. Coronavirus, it's not that it's super deadly, but in like 20% of cases, you need serious medical care. And the problem is it's so contagious. If everybody in America needs serious medical care at the same time, we don't have the medical capacity to give it to them.
Have you heard Jason Stapleton's take on the coronavirus?
I have, and I disagree.
My best friend's take on the coronavirus? What?
You care to recap?
Well, yeah, just quickly. Basically, the reason that it is more problematic in China is because the air quality is so bad, and you have a virus that is attacking the lungs. So the Chinese are more susceptible.
For sure.
The Chinese men also smoke like a motherfucker. I don't think it has to do with the environment so much as it has to do with the
air quality in Iran isn't the air quality in Iran isn't bad like it is in China, and those people are fucking dying fast.
Yeah, but they have terrible healthcare, I assume, in Iran.
Well, that's true. A lot of places do that, and that's the thing.
What about
in America? What America needs to do is slow it down and not let everybody get sick at once. As long as everybody doesn't get sick at once.
Of course, this is all about containment.
Isn't that all socialist healthcare plan? You just need to
slow it down.
Yeah.
Let's not let everybody get sick at once, except that they do.
But it's super contagious.
Well, I don't know. We're talking too much about coronavirus.
You're right.
So let's do a little prediction here, then we'll wrap it up. So looking ahead, next time it'll be past Super Tuesday. Next recap we do. Who's left? Who's left on the stage after Super Tuesday? Next debate.
That depends. Does Tom Steyer stay in if he gets third?
I don't know. I mean, you got to talk through that. You're
a soul if he stays in. It's like Bloomberg throwing money down the fucking chute. Although maybe Bloomberg.
This will be after. Think about it. This will be after Super Tuesday. There'll be like half the country will have voted.
I think I'm going to do a bold prediction and say Biden's going to be out.
Yeah, I agree. Biden will be out.
I think Biden doesn't have the monetary support that he figured on. He's not going to. Maybe he'll do good in one or two of them, but he's not going to have any momentum, and his debate performances have been awful, as have like every town hall. He just always doing something stupid. So I think Biden's going to be out.
He probably has some inkling. He has dementia. He's looking for like the right time to get out. And I think if he gets clobbered by Bernie here, he's out.
I think it's going to be Bernie, Buttigieg, Bloomberg, and one other, I don't know who, but I don't think it'll be Biden.
I wonder if Warren will be out too, because I heard her campaign fundraising is not very good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if she's
Would you
out
say
too.
A lot of her campaign supporters were Indian givers?
Oh, boy.
I knew that was coming, but no, because I don't. To my knowledge, they haven't asked for their money back.
And I do think she's running for Bernie's VP at the moment. So yeah, that wouldn't shock me.
Do you think so?
Yes. She,
oh my!
If she didn't like attack him as a front runner with a vengeance,
she didn't really attack
she
him.
called him a liar. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
Dude, that was 2 weeks ago.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's
like,
over.
Think about the news cycle. Most
Times
people
have
already
changed.
forgotten about that.
That's over, man.
Yeah,
That
most
was
people
old
already
news.
fucking forgotten about
No.
that.
Can you imagine
that would
Trump?
be-
Trump is going to have a field day with that, man.
Yeah.
She
God.
thought
He's like, you're such a pussy that this woman said called you a fucking liar on national TV, and then you have her as your vice president.
dude, that was her last gambit. That was her last gambit to get
Bernie is a fucking socialist, fake woke feminist. Look, he's used to being a pussy that will reverse course in order to get what he wants. He wants to fuck that presidential pussy. He will get Elizabeth Warren in supporting him. I believe this.
He needs someone on the
Wow, the
opposite end of the
analogies.
Democratic
You
spectrum.
love these analogies, man. You know you don't. You know you dig it.
He's not going to pick someone just like him. He's got to pick someone else.
He has to make sure that he picks
But
somebody
she
like
doesn't
him
know that.
assassinate him and have somebody else go in there, like
what do you mean
like
someone
Hillary
else? He's going
Clinton
to
would
pick a
have.
moderate? Because it'd be too weird. He's not going to pick Amy Klobuchar just to
he's not going to pick it. He's not going to pick an
too
establishment
ideologically
person.
separate. He's going to have to pick.
Well,
someone.
who's not an
He
establishment?
should pick Tulsi Gabbard, but I doubt he will because he's a bitch.
Tulsi Gabbard makes
Andrew
more
Yang.
sense than any of the
Oh,
moderate.
Andrew Yang. Yeah, Andrew Yang.
No,
Get
he's
the
going
Yang
to pick
Gang
someone
in?
like
Yeah,
Cory
get the Yang Gang.
Booker.
Or Cory Booker.
I
Yeah,
know
that'll
Jews
work.
have long had Chinese people come and do their dirty laundry, and so I'm having Andrew
You
Yang.
might get the Yang Gang in. Who knows?
what about like Julian Castro or who's that fucking guy from Texas that flamed out
Beto.
a long time ago?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
God.
Beto would sink his campaign.
I
Dude,
totally forgot about Beta.
If he
That's
gets
the
the Yang
worst.
Gang in, he will be memed into the presidency. It'll be unstoppable.
If he gets the Yang Gang in, he's going to win.
Yeah, for sure.
He actually, if he adds on to his policy, making everything free, plus you get $1,000 a month. Wow, that's hard to beat.
Hell,
Just modest tax on speculative trading.
I'll vote for
God,
him.
can we just talk about-
I'll be buying Bitcoin and just waiting for the dollar to collapse. I'll be like, yes,
Can we
yes,
just
break
please
it.
talk about the fucking absurd proposals to pay for shit that like Warren's idiotic shit, where there's not enough money in all the billionaires in the country to pay for hers.
It's not enough money in the world.
Right.
It's like $60 trillion.
What is Sanders proposing on speculative Wall Street trading anyway? Nothing has a real concrete plan behind it. He just throws out ideas. He's like, we're going to tax the Care Bears on the Care Bear sharing, and that will pay for Medicare for all.
Hey,
Okay.
I think he said $25 on every trade.
to put things into
Good
perspective.
fucking luck with that, Bernie, you dick.
To put things in perspective, if you
Is that what he
landed
literally said?
in America with Columbus and you made $50,000 a day and you worked every day up until today, you still could pay for Bernie's plan.
What the fuck?
Wait, say
I like
say that
someone
again.
actually
Say that
calculated.
again.
Yeah. If you landed here with Christopher Columbus and you worked every single day up until today, making $50,000 a day, you couldn't pay for Bernie's plan.
That's amazing.
Where is
Wow.
this coming from, this stat?
Twitter.
Math? Andrew Yang?
Thank God.
Andrew
for
Yang.
mathematicians
He
on
crunched the
Twitter.
numbers for us.
That's pretty bullshit of them to
No.
be talking about math without Andrew Yang.
Yeah, but Howie, what is that in real time live spice language?
What do you know? 1492 to
Does that account for
what am
inflation? I was
Oh.
making 50
No,
grand
no.
in
We're talking-
1492.
We're
That'd
talking
be
about
You
Well,
would be
is it-
living
no,
the life, man.
no, just the dollar amount at the end of what that dollar amount is worth today. Yeah, not inflation, just 50,000 of today's dollars every day from them. All right, is that cleared up?
I think so.
Yes.
Just like to add that for those watching on the live stream, Brian's baby has joined us here.
Brian's baby. Yeah, I had to take the baby from my wife so she could make her bed, and the baby's just like rooting around, sucking on various parts of my bicep. I have like
Rooting
bicep.
around. It's not a
Well,
weasel.
She's trying to get. She's like looking for a nipple to grab onto. I have like bicep hickeys now from this fucking baby being on me.
Dude, because your baby's name, I keep like waiting to see like adamantium claws like shoot out of her hands and. Like,
I tried to get the
slash
claws
you
put
up.
in, but the doctor said no. Apparently they're not up there. Well, you know,
Gotta be-
You gotta go to
Medicare
Canada.
for all, I can
Canada.
afford that kind of thing. You know, Bernie. Where's the Medicare for all adamantium clause for your babies? All right, I gotta go. This
Yeah, we're
baby's-
talking about the baby. Now the
All
baby's
right.
upset. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I gotta
Now
pee.
that- now
I
you've
think
talked
I
about
think
the
we
baby.
hashed this all out
PC
enough.
baby, goddamn PC baby.
That's enough. All right. Good night, fellas.
Not.
Baby says good night.
Peace out.
Peace.